start with the prayer. This prayer is from the Upanishads. Some of you may know it. It's from the Upanishad. And this prayer has 4 parts in it. The first part is prayer for strength and proper functioning of all aspects of personality, body, mind, sense organs, everything. Second part is an affirmation that everything, this whole visible universe, is nothing other than Brahman. And third part is that we should accept this, though it is not our present experience right now. We should accept this as a hypothesis, as it has been proven from experience by innumerable people. Also, the Upanishads declare that everything is Brahma. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, the third part. And the fourth part is a prayer for all virtues. To reach the goal of realization, we need to be virtuous people. We all the virtues. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshrotram Athabalam Indriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Aham Brahma Nirakuryam Mama Brahma Nirakarot Nirakaranastu Anirakaranam Me Astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaste Maisantu Te Maisantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I pray to the Divine Lord all aspects of my personality, including my body, mind, speech, and all sense organs. May they all become strong and function in perfect harmony, concert with each other. This whole physical universe, visible, the mind through the sense organs, is nothing other than the ultimate reality described as Brahman in the Upanishad. May I not reject this truth. It's possible to dismiss this as something mentioned in the ancient scriptures in millennia years ago. How can it be true? Can it be true? It's possible to dismiss this. But let us accept it as the truth and proceed to experience this truth in our life. It's the experience that is ultimate. As we are engaged in that lofty effort of experiencing our divine nature, may all the virtues described in the Upanishads come to me and reside in me. May all the virtues such as truthfulness, strength, purity, straightforwardness, may all those me and reside in me. Om peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts, Adhyatmika Shanti. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings, no ill will, no hatred, Adibhautika. May there be peace everywhere in nature, Adidevika. Today, let us do something called, you must have heard the expression Simhavalokanam. Simhavalokanam means Shalini Namaskaram. Simhavalokanam means when the lion walks in the forest, it walks for some time, then stops and looks back. Survey the field it has covered, and then walks some more. Periodically, we have to do Simhavalokanam, what we have studied so far, and the context in which we are studying the present shlokas, and then we shall, before we cover new shlokas. So what we did so far is, in shloka number 540, Swe Swe Karmani Avirataha Samsiddhim Lavate Nara. And then Yatah Pravrittir Bhutanam Yena Suramidam Tatam. Those two slokas. There we studied that everybody can reach the goal of realization, regardless of their line of work. Doing their own work as worship. Sakarmana tam abhyarchya siddhim vindati manavaha. Sakarma means one's own duty, which comes to them because of their sabhava. Sabhava here is understood as the accumulated impressions of many past lives. That places where we are in the present situation and propels us in a certain direction. So we have to follow that duty which has come to us and do it as worship. Tam abhyarcha, worshipping him. Archana means worship. Then what happens? Manavaha siddhim vindati. A human being achieves perfection. Siddhi means perfect. Tam abhyarcha means whom are we worshipping? That is answered in the first line of 1846. There, the Lord says, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. If from whom all the beings have evolved, whole universe has evolved, and by whom this whole universe, everything is pervaded. Yena sarvamidam tatam abhyarcha, worship. What happens? Manavaha siddhim vindati. We are backtracking a little bit. We did this before. Siddhi here means perfection. The word siddhi has translated as perfection. Perfection means what? Commenting on this, on the meaning of this word siddhi in this verse, Shankara has said, Brahmanishta yogita lakshana siddhi. That means we're doing all our work as worship. The mind becomes pure. Pure from blemishes such as selfishness, narrow-mindedness, greed, lust, etc. And that purity of mind, it makes us eligible to inquire into the nature of reality. Without purifying the mind, if you simply say, I am Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, that does not mean much. You have to prepare the mind. Do that one by Karma Yoga, by doing all our duties as if we are doing. Hence, doing all our work with great devotion, with joy, and offering everything out of love, we have to do the work joyfully and with gratitude. Why gratitude? Because, as you have seen before, work is a privilege. We don't realize it. Work is a gift. The ability to do work and the opportunity to do work, both are very precious gifts. We have been given that work. We take it for granted, take them for granted. We don't realize the value of these two gifts, ability to do work and opportunity to do work, unless one of them is taken away from us. If a person is able to do work and has no job, so he is not happy, miserable. He wants something. And if a person has a lot of work to do but cannot do, some problem, disability, he becomes miserable. So if we have both of these things, that itself is a privilege. Work is an opportunity for spiritual. So that way, with gratitude, we have to work. Karmana tam abhyarcha. Siddhi mendati manavaha. Siddhi means, as we saw before, preparation, purification of the mind. The pure mind is really necessary for anything. For devotion, achieve pure devotion, bhakti, jnana, for everything, pure mind is necessary. The mind becomes pure, free from impurities such as narrow-mindedness, etc. With that pure mind, then that is the preparation. So far, karma is the preparation. The goal is still there. How to reach the goal? What is the goal? Goal is to realize our divine nature, who we are. Or according to the path of devotion, goal is to have pure devotion to God. Great teachers in devotion such as Narada, Hanuman, Prahlada, Sri Ramakrishna, Chaitanya, they did not want self-knowledge. They wanted devotion. For them, bhakti is more important, precious than mukti, liberation. Jnanis want mukti. They don't want any separation. I am Brahman. I want to realize that one, merging. That is their Jnanis idea. But bhaktas don't want that separate. They don't want that you merge. They want to remain separate. Hanuman said to Sri Rama, I want liberation. When Sri Rama asked Hanuman, what would you like to have? Asked me for a boon. At the end of the Ramayana story. Hanuman, of course, asked for Brahmajnana, self-liberation. He said, I want to remain separate from you always. I want to be your humble servant, Hanuman. I want to be my beloved Lord, Sri Rama. I want to serve you. I want to be present wherever your name is taken. That is what devotees. Sri Ramakrishna said, I don't want to become sugar, I want to eat sugar. Sri Ramakrishna said, for Divine Mother, I don't want Brahma. Give it to those who are sick. For me, I want to be your little child devotee. Staying with 5-year-old child. Panchavarsha Bala Bhava Yukta Ramsar. That gave him greater. So for devotees, they don't want Sayujya, union. So whatever is the goal, we need to have purity of mind to achieve pure devotion or to achieve self-knowledge, Brahmajnana. And how to achieve the purity of mind? Purity of mind by doing all our work as worship. Now, this is so-called preparation. Now, the next step is to achieve the goal of self-knowledge or pure devotion. We have to do certain more things. Preparation has been done. Mind is pure. Without that, nothing can be. So, what are the other things that we have to do after achieving, after making the mind pure? That is what we are studying right now in the present context. If you go back to sloka number
56, I believe, Swamiji.
No, we are going back a little bit.
I see.
Karmani Abhirata, that is, and we have to go Siddhim. Yes, 50. Going back a little bit. 50. Im prapto yata brahma tatapnoti nibodhame masenaiva kaunteya nishta jnanasya ya para. Siddhim prapta. Siddhim means, as you saw before, purity of mind, which is a requirement for inquiry into the nature of self-knowledge, also for pure devotion. So, Siddhim Praptaha, by achieving purity of mind, how? We're doing all work as worship. Manatam Abhyarcha. So, from that step onwards, now that's not still the goal, just the preparation, purity of mind. What else we have to do? Several disciplines, Jnana Yoga disciplines, Karma Yoga, we have to do. Those are being described in the 5, 6, 7 slokas, 51 to 57. So sloka number 50 we are doing. Siddhim praptaha. A person who has done, who is doing all work as worship and has achieved certain measure of purity of mind. Yatha Brahma apnoti. How does a person achieve Brahma jnana? Samasenaiva. Briefly, Unteya, Niboda me. I'm going to explain. After achieving purity of mind, preparing the mind, doing all work as worship, what other next steps have to be done to reach the goal of self-realization, Atma Jnana? So that is what we are studying right now. That's the present context. Samasenaiva, briefly. More details will be a lot more information, so many other practices. Main steps he is giving in the next few slokas. Jnanasya paranishta ya paranishta. Supreme consummation of knowledge is self-knowledge. Talking about self-knowledge in this section. Same things apply to devotees seeking pure devotion. Prema, Shuddha Bhakti. Now we go to number 51 very briefly because we read this one, all of these ones. A list of disciplines ritual practices, devotional practices we have to do. 51. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto rityatmanam niyamya cha shabdadin vishayan styaktva ragadveshau yudasya cha vishuddhaya buddhya yuktaha, equipped with a pure mind. Shuddhaya buddhya, purity of mind, is making the mind free from all usual blemishes you are familiar with. Kama, krodha, labha, selfishness, narrow-mindedness, I and mine, mamatva, all these things. Gradually, we have to work on these things. And one way to do that is through the path of karma yoga, doing everything else first. Atmanam dritya niyamyacha. Niyam is controlling the self. Here, Atma means the body, mind, sense organs. The word Atma has different meanings depending on the context. Atma can mean the individual soul, Devatma. Atma can also mean the Paramatma. Atma can mean the body, the mind, or the body, sense organ. Here, Atmanam Dritya. Dritya means firm resolution. Dritti, we saw 3 kinds of Dritti. Sattiki Dritti, Rajasi Dritti, Tamasi Dritti, we saw that earlier. With firm resolution, Dritya, Atmanam Niyamya, controlling the mind, the sense organs, and the body. What else to do? Sabdadi Vishayan Tyaktva. Here means all sense objects. 5 kinds of sense objects we are familiar with. Things that we sense object if we see with our eyes, conveying shape, color, size, form, distance, and so some subject that we hear, sound that we hear with our ears, sense objects that we taste with our tongue, sense objects that we touch with our hands. All these are 5 kinds of sense objects. Things are sense objects that we smell. Vishayan Tyaktva. Literally, it's not possible to give up Vishaya. Sense organ, body itself is a sense object, Vishaya. So what is meant here is giving up attachment to sense objects and giving up the idea that sense objects are a source of pleasure, looking upon them as sources of pleasure. That is the mistake that we are seeking happiness in sense objects, where it cannot be found really, that we know from earlier studies. All joy has to come only from one source, and that is within us. intrinsically. Nothing to come from outside. That's our true nature, Ananda. Leaving that, we are looking for happiness in the outside world, in other sense objects. Sense object can be another person also, can be job, position, power, name, fame, money, property, big house, car. In all these things, people look for happiness, where they cannot be really found. Only place where we can find true happiness, eternal, infinite, unchanging happiness, and that is in itself, within, is already there within us. We have to discover it, or to experience it. It is there already. So, giving up attachment to sense objects, outside sense objects, giving up the notion that they are the sources of what is meant by Vishyan Tektva. Physically, we cannot give up all sense objects. Food we have to eat, water we have to drink, for all sense objects. Unnecessary contact with unnecessary sense objects have to be given up. Only what is necessary. Sharira yatra. Tattva, giving up attachment to sense objects and giving up the notion that they are the objects of pleasure, seeking happiness in them. Ragadvesha vidasya, giving up attachment and aversion. Much of the time, all our thinking, our actions are guided by our likes and dislikes. Not necessarily by what is right, what is wrong, what is necessary, what is necessary. By what we like to do that one. Whether it's the right thing to do or a necessary thing to do, that should be considered. Our actions are guided by our likes and dislikes. Something that I have to do, I don't like to do it, so I don't want to do it. So that's how it should be. It's not how it should be. Ragadvesha vidasya, keeping aside our likes and dislikes, we have to do our karma, niyat karma. Niyat karma means required duties, obligatory. There are 2 kinds, as we saw before. Karma, Naimitika karma. Nitya karma includes the panchayat, all those we have studied before. So what we have to do, things that are necessary to be done, required duty, that we have to do. If you happen to like them, we are fortunate. Even if you don't like them, then the required duties have to be done. So keeping aside, not being guided by what I like, what I dislike, in deciding what we have to do, what we don't do, we should see what is required to be done, and that has to be done. That is Yagadvesha Vidasya, keeping aside our likes and dislikes. The sentence is not complete, doing all these things. Next sloka, 52. Vivekananda Ladvashi Yatava Yamanasaha Dhyana Yoga Paro Nityam Vairagyam Samupashritaha. All these are things to be done. The list is there. After achieving purity of mind, Vivikta Sevi, this has come before in 13th chapter also. Or Tirjana Samsari, like that. Resorting to solitary places. If you're always surrounded by a lot of people, our mind will be dispersed in different directions. What other people think, what they do, their speech, their action, their conversation, they all affect us. So at least for some time every day, we have to practice contemplation, prayer, solitude. This is what Sri Ramakrishna often emphasized. Many places in the Gospel, Sri Ramakrishna said, go to a place of solitude. Because in the early stages of spiritual life in which most of us are, very vulnerable to influences of other people's thoughts and actions. So we have to practice solitude, go into solitude as much as possible, as frequently as possible, as long as possible. He gives an example. Supposing there is a very tender sapling on the roadside, and that sapling is very tender. It has to be protected by putting fence around that one. If there is no fence, any cattle, cow, or goat will come and finish it up. But we have to protect it. Therefore, you put a fence around. How long is the fence necessary? When the sapling grows into a big, strong tree, then you don't need the fence anymore around it. Even if an elephant is tied to a tree, nothing happens. Until we become so strong, we have to practice solitude. Now we are very vulnerable. What other people say, that affects us. What other people do, that affects us. Everything affects. So we have to practice solitude every day with the saving. Generally, tendency is to uh, seek happiness in crowds. Recently, last year, there was an incident, unfortunate incident in Houston. Some rap musician, I don't know his name, was giving a performance. And a lot of people went there. 50,000 people went and jammed in that auditorium. And it's not cheap. The tickets for $900. That's if you buy. And if you buy the ticket through scalpers, it will be even much more. By paying that much money, they all went there. Huge crowd of people. And there was not enough space. There was a big stampede. 10 people or more died there. And many more were injured. Those who died, that is one thing. But those who got injured, lost a leg, their hand or something, rest of their life they have to kind of tendency to go into crowds, seek happiness in the crowds. So much noise and people all shouting. Spiritual seekers, we have to find a quiet place every day. If not every day, at least a couple of times a week when we have to aside some time as personal time. During this time, it may be an hour or 2 hours or half a day or whatever we can manage. I'm not going to do anything else. Turn off the cell phone, no phone calls, and no texting, no messages, and I will do my prayer, whatever study, prayer, whatever. That should say we resorting to solitary place. Very important discipline for spiritual seekers. Sevi Lagvashi. Lagvashi means one who eats limited, moderate amount of food. The sixth chapter, there are 2 slokas, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, a seeker must practice moderation in food, sleep, and work and relaxing. Nati, this sloka number 16, 17 in chapter 6. Atyashnatasta yogosti achekanta manashnataha. You have to go back and review the old slokas which you studied before. Otherwise we will forget them. Chapter 6, Jnana Yoga chapter, sloka number 16, 17. There, Bhagavan said we have to practice moderation, not too much, not too little. Atyashnata, for a person who eats too much food, yoga is not possible. Sleep will come, lethargy will come. Nachaekantam anashnataha. If a person does not eat enough food, there is not enough energy to do anything. Likewise, moderation in sleep. Nagrato neva charjuna. A person who remains always awake at night also, that is not good. Then next day, that person will feel sleepy and cannot do any work. That alone is spiritual practice. Or some people sleep too much. This is also not. Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yuktasvapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Ahara vihara cheshta karma. In food, in relaxation, and in work, and in karmasut work, in these three, in sleep, in these 3, 4, we have to practice moderation. That comes again here in the 52nd. As we noted before, Sloka 18 brings together all the things that were mentioned in the previous. Vivekananda Ladvashi. Yata vakkaya manasaha. Vak means speech. Kaya means body, sense organs. Manas means mind. These are three instruments we have, three karana. Everything that we do in our life happens only through these three instruments. They have to be kept in good shape. They have to be used for the purpose for which they are given. We should not abuse them or misuse them. The faculty of speech, mind, faculty of thinking, only putting good thoughts, not bad thoughts into the mind, and faculty of action, physical action, the sense organ. All the three have to be controlled. Yatavakaya manasaha. How to control these three things that we studied in the previous chapter, 17th chapter. Here in the 17th chapter, we have to review old slokas. That's what I'm doing right now. Bhagavan Sri Krishna described three kinds of austerities, tapas. Austerities pertaining to the body, sharirang tapaha. Austerities pertaining to faculty of speech, vangmayam tapaha. Austerities pertaining to faculty of mind, thinking, manasam tapaha. All these things we have to practice. For each of these, the Lord has given 5 disciplines to be practiced. 5 on how to control the body, physical aspect of our personality. 5 things to do to control the spirit, and 5 more things to do to keep the mind in good condition. So this we studied in the 17th chapter. If you remember, slokas number 14, 15, 16. Shariram tapaha, vangmayam tapaha, manasam tapaha. We're not going to go back to slokas. We can review them. Yatavakaya manasaha, controlling speech, very important faculty, control speech. Sometimes, most of the time, we just speak and then we think. We should be other way. We should think and then we should speak. Once the speech is spoken, word is spoken, there's no way we can withdraw it. If you find that it is not the right thing to say. So, before we speak, we should think. Before we act, we should think. Yatavakaya manasaha, dhyana yoga paro nityam. Dhyana yoga para means engaged in dhyana yoga means meditation. Daily practice of meditation has to be. If meditation is not possible, meditation, we all talk about meditation, but it is very difficult. Many people cannot do meditation. Everybody likes to talk about meditation, out of books. Instead of meditation, Sarada Devi said, if you do nama japa or mantra japa, mind becomes ready for meditation, repeating God's name. There are several ways of doing this one. You can repeat the same name, nama japa, Shirama, 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 like that. Or you can repeat a mantra given to you by the Guru, or given to you, come to you from your family tradition. Whatever mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, guide mantra, that we have to do. That prepares the mind for meditation. Right away, you cannot meditate. Or there are other way to this Nama Sankirtana is to chant what are called Sahasranama, Ashtottara, etc. Some people chant Vishnu Sahasranama every day, 1,000 names of Vishnu. Some people chant Lita Sahasranama every day, Shiva Sahasranama, like this, 1,000 names of deity. Each name describes one Mahatmya, glory of the by chanting these names of God, if no time for 1,000 Sahasranama, 1,000 names, a short list. Ashtottara Satanama, 108. Prepares the mind, makes the mind calm, and then we can gradually, the japa itself becomes meditation. That's dhyana yoga para. One way or the other, we have to engage in meditation or japa every day. Dhyana yoga para nityam vairagyam samapashitaha, sorting to vairagya renunciation. Vairagya is a very sometimes a frightening term. Vairagya means should I give up all everything my family job and go to the forest. No, not that one. That's not for everybody. For small, can do that. Vairagya means two kinds of vairagya: detachment, renunciation. What are they? Internal vairagya, antarika. We keep all the things we need. Householders have to keep the things. They have to have money. They have to have a place to stay. They have to have furniture and food to eat and all the other things necessary to run a family. Those things are necessary. So keeping the things is not a problem. But being attached to them is the problem. Giving up inward attachment. People are necessary in our lives. Family people, spouse, husband, wife, children, parents, grandparents, everybody, grandchildren are there. You can't give them all up. Let them all be there. Sri Ramakrishna said, live with everybody. Don't have to give up everybody, everything and go to the forest, not for everybody. Do your duty by them. Love them. Serve them. But inwardly know that these associations, relations are all temporary. All possessions, all relationships are temporary. They come, they were not there in the beginning. They stay with us for some time and they go out. That's the nature of all associations. Body also was not there before. It came, it's there for some time, then it goes. Likewise, other things. So we can have all these things, but with inward, we should know for certain. Sooner or later, separation will come. All these things will be there, and I have to leave. Or I will be there, they will live one by one or all together. When we are other separation going to come, be ready for that. As long as things are there, people are there, property is there, money is there, use them for good purpose. Your duty by them, serve them, love them, learn them. But when it's thank you for being with me for so long, playing a part in my life. That inward detachment is necessary for all. But for some people, even outward renunciation is necessary. For those who have taken to monastic life, they cannot keep many things. Only barest minimum things only they have to keep. Nothing more. Otherwise, we become attached to things. So, Vairagya means developing inward detachment, doing our duties, keeping them, safeguarding them. Everything we have should be properly taken care of: house, property, money, job, money, everything. But when it's time for separation comes, be ready for that one. I knew that someday separation will come. They will be there, I have to leave, or I will be there, they will leave. Ready for that. Thank you for being with me for so long. Now, is Vairagyam samapastitaha. These are all things to be done. The sentence is not complete yet. Then we go to sloka number 53. Aham karam balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham nimuchyat nirmama shanto brahma bhuyaya kalpate. If you do all these things, what will happen? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Or status of Brahma. What else we have to do? Ankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodam, parigraham, nimuchya. All these things have to be given up. Vachana means giving up. What are they? Ahankaram. Ahankara means I am the body. That feeling is ahankara. I am this body. Aham. That's a basic thing that it comes with birth and will be there. We cannot completely give it up totally for death. How to give up ahankara? Ahankara also means pride. That you are not talking about that. Ahankara means if notion that I am the body, I am the mind. That is ahankara. It's not easy to give it up. No matter how much we reason, no matter how many times I say I am not the body, mind, I am the Atman, it does not work that way. So what we have to do is to let the I Ahankara be there. Sri Ramakrishna said, I cannot be completely given up. Not so easy. Let it be there, but modify that one. He says in Bengali, he says, Kacha ami, paka ami. Kacha ami means unright ego. I'm such a great person. I have so much knowledge. I have so much property. I'm a rich person. I'm a genius. Like this, some people claim. That is not. That's dangerous. That is harmful ego. Instead of that, make it right ego. Right ego means paka. Means I am there. I cannot give the notion I am this body mind, but I am here as a servant of God, as a child of God, as a devotee of God. These relationships are not harmful. I is still there. Easy to give I, but make it right, mature I. I am a devotee of God. I am still there. As a separate person, I am there. I'm not Brahman. That is not coming right now. It will take later. It will come later. But it can be modified, simplified, purified. I'm a devotee of God. I'm a servant of God. Everything I do is my service to the Lord. Everything I have is property. I'm only a caretaker, manager, custodian. Everything belongs to him. I'm not the owner of everything. I can say this is my house, my child, my property. I can say that one. Otherwise, how will we do the conversation? But in our minds, we should know none of these things belong to me. They all belong to the Lord. He is the true owner. But I call them mine. Then what is my relationship to them? These things have been given to me by the Lord because I wanted them. No property, no body, nothing will come except as I have wanted them. So having wanted them, having received them, how to take good care of these things. So property we can keep, money we can keep, house we can keep. For householders, it's unnecessary. But inwardly, same, I'm not the owner, he is the owner, I'm a temporary custodian. As long as he wishes me to have these things will be with me. One day he can take away all these things that he has given, one by one or all together. I'm ready for it. As long as they are with me, as long as house is there, I take good care of it, maintain it properly. As long as car is there, I maintain it properly, use it for good purpose. As long as money is there, I don't misuse it, use it for good purpose. As long as body is there, I use it for good purpose, to good deeds. All these things you can have, but inwardly being detached. Ahankaram, I, as his personality is there, can't be given up. I am a child of God, servant of God, devotee of God. That is not harm. Ahankaram, balam. Balam means unnecessary use of force. Balam balavatam kamaragavi vartitam, he said. Bala is not bad. But if it's associated with kamaraga, desire, arrogance, anger, then it is very harmful to one's own self and for other people. The bala is necessary. Without strength, nothing can be achieved either in the in worldly life or in spiritual life. Bala is necessary. In the Upanishads it says, Nayamatma bhavalehi balahina labhyaha. Bala means physical strength is one thing, bahubala. That is not permanent. It comes and goes. But more than that, manobala, mind must be strong. Mind must be pure and strong. That is more important. Physical strength is temporary. It is there when you are young and youthful, you are strong. Old age comes, then strength goes away. So as long as it's there, it's good. Should be used only for good purpose, not for yoga bala, spiritual bala. So that is balam. Karam balam. Here what he means is brute strength. Balam tattva. Using it for respective. Ahankaram balam. Darpam. Darpa means pride. I'm such a great person. I have so much money. I know more than the other people. This high position, I am the president. Like this, that pride should be. Because everything can be taken away in the twinkling of an eye. Shankaracharya says, don't be proud of all these things. Whatever you have, youth, beauty, money, wealth, etc. till there in the twinkling of an eye, they can all be taken away. Ma kuru dana jana yavana garbam bharati nimeshat kala sarvam. Dana jana yavana garbam ma kuru. Don't be proud of your wealth, of your people, followers. If your people who vote for you, yavana youth, moment, nimeshat. Nimesha means the time it takes to twinkle an eye. Twinkling is the time. Kala sarvam. So, pride should not be there. Param, balam, darpam, kamam. Kama means desire, general meaning of kama. But all kama is not bad, need not be bad. Some desires are good, they are to be cherished. Kama is dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi paratashyava, like this in 7th chapter. Dharma aviruddha kama. Aviruddha means not opposed. Viruddha means opposed. Viruddha means not opposed to dharma. Dharmic desire are there. They can be kept. They can be cherished, fulfilled. Desire, for example, desire to become a better person. Desire to acquire more knowledge. Desire to be of service to other people, loving other people. These are all good desires. Desire to achieve spiritual progress. Good desire. They are to keep them cherished. Bad desires, I don't have to give examples of bad desires that we have taken. Alam, ahankaram, balam, darpam, kamam, krodham. Krodha is one of the 3 great enemies of a human being that we studied in the 16th chapter. 3 enemies are there, 3 gateways are there. Ivedam narakasya dvaram nasanamatmanaha. Narakasya trividam dvaram. 3 gateways to Naraka means place of suffering. They all lead to suffering. What are they? Kamaha, Kodaha, Tatha, Lobha. Kama means uncontrolled, unregulated, adharmic desire. They have to be given up. Krodha, anger. When anger comes, we really become temporarily insane. People lead temporary insanity and dependence. That is true. When you are in a fit of influence of anger, you don't know what is right, what is wrong, what is to be said, what is not to be said, what to do, what not to do. You lose the discrimination. You end up doing and saying things which later when the anger passes away, regret. Why did I do? Why did I say? Not take it. So Krodha is a big enemy. Kamam, Krodham, Parigraham. Parigraham means accumulating things, receiving things, ultimate. Patanjali says Aparigraha, one of the Yamaniyama rules. Means it depends on where we are in our life. For sannyasis, monks, no possession should be there at all. Kartala deeksha, tortala vasa. Just food, what you can hold in your hand, full of food at a time, no storing for evening. Tortala vasa is living in the retreat. Many sannyasis can live that way. We live in nice air-conditioned temples and ashramas and no, but attachment should not. Niketa, Sri Krishna says in the 12th chapter. They means keeping only what is minimum necessary. For householders, a little bit extra is also necessary. Because for householders, they have to maintain the family, children, spouse, parents, dependents. So sometimes there will be unforeseen expenses. Somebody may become sick and college expenses for children. So they have to save something. But for sannyasis, no saving, not even accepting money. I knew some sannyasis who did not touch money. Physically also, they would refuse to touch money. They were so strict about it because whatever comes on its own, that remains parigraham, imuchya, giving up all these things. What are the things to be given up? Ahankara, bala, dharma, kama, krodha, parigraha. Egoism, brute strength, pride, and unreasonable dharmic desire, karma, anger, and tendency to accumulate things. Even if they come free, we should not accept things if they are not necessary. Immature. Nirmamaha. This came earlier in the second chapter. I said, Nirmamo bhutva yudhya savigata jvara nirashir nirmamo bhutva. Mama means mine. Mama means mine. This is mine. We all have that feeling. This is mine. We put the label mine on everything. This is my book, this is my body, this is my money, this is my home, this is my children, these are my children, like this, mine. If you really take a few minutes and think deeply and calmly, what is really mine? Is the body mine? Refer to this as my body. I have no control over it. Somebody helped me to bring into existence, and it will be taken away, not when I want, but sometime I have no control over it. Even when it is there with me, I have not much control over it. It's not mine. Mine is a limiting idea. Mamatva should not be there. Nirmamo bhut. What is mine? People put the label mine on some other people's property also. Especially in the workplace, one person does a very hard work and somebody else takes credit for that work then by somebody else and claims credit. Not mine. Then whose? Not mine, but thine, O Lord. Devotee says, nothing is mine, everything belongs to him. I also belong to him. That is nirmamatva. Nirmamo bhutva. Shantaha. Peaceful. Shanti, very important discipline. When we say Om Shanti, Shanti, we say 3 times. Why we should read 3 times? Because the ancient rishis found out that problems come from 3 possible sources. Tapatraya, they call it. 3 kinds of problem. Most of the problem comes from our own self. Something we do wrong, say something wrong, create our own problem. That happens in the body and we suffer. The second kind of problem is coming from outside source, adibhautika tapa, from other people, animals and plants. Animals also create trouble in the rural areas, where farmers live. Elephants come and destroy the crop like that. So problem seeming to come from other people, other sources, adibhautikata. And then still there are some other problems, not caused by anybody, not caused by oneself. That is problems due to imbalance in nature, natural calamities, such as lightning, flood, too much water, too little water, drought, crops do not grow, earthquake, forest fires. All these things are natural calamities. Nobody causes them, they happen in nature. They are adi devika. So to ward off these 3 kinds of suffering, we need peace. Peace inside us, adhyatmika shanti. I don't create any problem for myself or for other people. Then adi bhautika shanti, peace among all the beings with whom we share our life, animals, plants, other people, neighbors, co-workers, family members, peace among them. Then adi devika shanti. Shanta, we have to achieve peace. Pray for peace or all the 3 levels. Mama Shanto. Such a person who does all these disciplines, listed in the previous 3 shlokas, what happens? Brahma bhuyaya kalpate, becomes fit for the status of Brahman. I am Brahman will become the experience. Simply does not say as a sentence in the scriptures in the Upanishads, short to become our direct personal experience for each one of us. So for that to happen, then you have to do 2 things. First is purifying the mind by doing all work as worship according to this view. And then with the purity of mind, doing all these disciplines. Listed. Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. Not only that, we'll go to 54 now. Brahmabhuta prasannatma nashocati na kankshati samastarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. Brahmabhuta, having achieved oneness with Brahman. That itself is the highest goal, highest that we can think of. Prasannatma, the tranquil. Prasannata means tranquility of the mind. Mind becomes tranquil. Until then, some disturbance will be there. Somebody says something, we become upset. Or something happens at the workplace, we become upset. Something happens in the family, we become upset. All these things disturb the balance of our mind. But Prasannatma, a person has to achieve tranquility, complete tranquility, unconditional tranquility of the mind. If everything is okay, then everybody can be peaceful. But in spite of disturbances, if you can still remain calm and perturbed, then that is Prasannatma, Nashocati na kankshati. All these things have come before. No shoka, no grief for the person, no sense of loss. The kankshati, no desire. Desire means a feeling of emptiness, incompleteness. That means kanksha means I don't have something, and if I have that something, acquire that something that makes me happier, the state of mind, there is a gap is felt. That is desire. It may be an object. I have a desire for a car, I don't have a car. If I acquire it, I'll be happy. That is one. It may be a relationship. It may be a job. It may be something else. Something that I don't have, I feel the emptiness, gap in my mind, life. And if I acquire that one, then I'll be happy. The state of mind is there. No person, nakangshati. A person who has no desire is called akamahata, unafflicted by desire. A person who knows the self, atmajnana, person who has pure devotion, prema, that person has no desire. It has been achieved already. There is no other thing more to be achieved. Yam labdva sa param labham manyate nadikam tataha. By reaching that, beyond which there is nothing else more to be achieved. When such a person reaches that experience, there is no more desire left. Nakangshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. Looking upon all beings in the same way, seeing the presence of God in all. Sometimes we have different ways of dealing with different people. There's somebody whom I like very much, I became after that attached person. When that person comes, I'll be very happy. Sometimes the opposite happens. So I don't like somebody. I want to stay away. If that person comes, I'll be unhappy. So likes and dislikes. But a true jnani or a true bhakta is not like that one. He sees the same divine presence in all, same God in all. So he likes everybody. Where did we see that one? It's called samadharshitva. This virtue of seeing everybody alike called samadharshitvam. Where did we come that one? Chapter 5 and 6, both places Sri Krishna. Chapter 5, sloka number 8. Here Bhagavan says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichaiva Shapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Spectrum of creation, beginning with the best human being, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane, a knower of Brahman, endowed with knowledge and then humility, highest type of human being. At the other end of the spectrum, Shapaka, a person who lowest layer, of society, no education, not his fault, circumstances. Born in such a family where there is no opportunity for education, no school, nothing, born in a slum, what can that person? And in between, all other kinds of people like us in between. We are not at this extreme, not in that extreme. And all the animals also come in the same spectrum. Gavi Hastini Shunitai. Gavi means the cow. Hasti means the elephant. And Shuni means all of examples. That means in all of creation, everybody, from the best to the worst, and it also they look upon them all alike. How is it possible? They're so different in their nature. They see one thing that is common to all. No matter how different people are from each other, there's one thing that is common to all, namely the divine presence in all. Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra, Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati, chapter 6, sloka number 30. He who sees me in all, and all in me, I'm never lost. The person is always in my. So that is Samadarship. Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Sarveshu Bhuteshu also comes in the 6th chapter. In regard to people, some of them may consider them as very close friends, some as ordinary friends, some as neutral, some we don't like at all, some we dislike. All variations are there. In the 6th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Jnani looks upon all of them the same way. Sarveshu Bhuteshu. What happens? Bhaktim Param Madhyaktim Labate. Such a person achieves pure devotion. At the highest level, pure devotion and pure knowledge, self-knowledge are both same. The paths are different. In the beginning, they're very different. The paths are different. Practices are different. But when you reach one, you get the other. If you take any great jnani, you also have devotion. People thought of Ramana Maharshi as a jnani. How much devotion? He was so much devotion he had. Sometimes when people would, devotees would read some passages from scriptures, he would start shedding tears. Same way about Swami Vivekananda. He was thought of as a great jnani. But he had so much devotion, always Divine Mother, Divine Mother. You can't separate it at the highest. But Bhakti Malabate Param. So, say the closing prayer. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy. May all be free from suffering. May all know, realize, and practice what is noble, dharmic, and auspicious. May no one be subject to any kind of suffering. Om, peace. May there be peace and joy in our hearts. Adhyatmika Shanti. May there be peace and harmony amongst all beings. Adi Bhavatika Shanti. And may there be peace in very, very nature. Adi Dai Shanti. Shri Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. All of you stay well, and God willing, see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Swamiji.
Thank you.
Pranam.
Thank you.
Namaskar.